Hello, and today we'll begin Chapter 3 for String 0. Stars. Wavian? No. Wavian. Sunlight. What are you looking for, Wavian? It's so bright. I say my eyes looking up from the water. Endless and forever. The sky breathes. I know this place. Aromatic trees, the sweetness of ripened fruit, wet moss. I'm standing on the last water cliffs. Its namesake roars over the ears near my feet, a spray dispersing into mist. Beneath us, the lush palms and bamboo of the Rayan riverlands fade into an emerald blur, pelagic, sapphire, and sandy gold, a world between worlds. Forest, ocean, desert, and the mountains behind us. Here, we're surrounded by infinity. Here, we're connected to. Are you looking for a sea who stole the stars? It's gonna be sunset soon, huh? My mouth opens before I even remember who this is. Don't be dumb, Sally. It's funny. She's asleep in the story time now. She gave back the stars a long time ago. Oh, a memory. This is the day it all started. Don't you ever listen during lessons? Sally climbs up the rocks, joining me at the cliff's edge. I turn to look at her, grinning. She's older, maybe 9 or 10. Her dark hair is a tousled mess full of twigs, the same as mine. She rolls her eyes. Oh, my mistake, Grumpy. Maybe I'd listen harder if your dad didn't talk so much. You're grumpy. She laughs a sharp chirp, resting her hand on my shoulder as we look down over the valley. Maybe a little, but only because I want your dad to get to the good parts. I want to hear the stories of adventure, not the history of every single watch. What watches? Don't let the Watts hear you say that. Sally crosses her arms. They probably feel the same way. What do you think, Watts, huh? She turns to the river, waving at it. It continues rushing by. See, they don't care. Anyways, what are you really looking at? Anyways, what are you looking Anyways, what are you really looking for then? It'll be dark soon. I'll get in trouble for letting you stay up here. I'm looking for the army. Dad said a merchant saw them coming from the desert. If they were returning from a battle, they might have Wazen warriors with them. What, really? We never met a Wazen warrior. All of Swat Hasvar is rich with stories of their battlefield heroics, of their simmering holographic weapons and armor, summoned and powered by blessed radiance. Those stories are Sally's favorite, much more than dumb wads who never do anything but hide in rocks or trees, or rivers. She shields her eyes from the setting sun and points to a distant convoy snaking into the shrublands. Is that them over there, past the river? Yeah, probably, but it's too far to see anything. Too bad you don't think they crossed the desert to attack Sargos, do you? My country's to the far southwest. No, it's too far. They go by boat from Vachas. Capital Studio, Hospital. Oh, how do you know? You're a sand guide now? She elbows my side. Were you one of those Laotian techno sorcerers yesterday? Shut up. Dad told me. Oh, really? Your dad doesn't know everything, you know? She's annoyed with me. I talk about Dad all the time now. But why wouldn't I? He's the town's new master storyteller. It's his job to know everything. I turn towards her and step forward. Yes, he does. He does know everything. Color drains from the sky with her scowl. This fight has been brewing for days. Winning doesn't mean he's always right. He steps forward, too. Annoyance bubbles into anger. She's still mad that her father lost the yearly tailspin of mine. I'm being inconsiderate. Does so. That's the point. Don't be mean, Sally. I'll tell your mom. I'm the mean one. Yeah, well, I'll tell your mom. But you don't have one. She regrets saying it, I know. But it's Miss Dorgan. The air is heavy. I do so. See, she just went away. You do not. She roars. It doesn't sound like her at all. It sounds wrong, monstrous. I'm so surprised that I don't feel her hands on my chest until she pushes me. My stomach drops. I jerk to the side so I don't tumble into the river, but now I'm falling backwards, towards the edge of the cliff. The air suddenly clears. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Wavian. She scrambles towards me, frantically reaching out to grab me. But it's too late. Wavian! Suddenly weightless, I plummet towards the rocks below. Listen, the bottom of the waterfall looks like an open maw. It spits cold foam, mist wigging like tongues, jagged teeth jutting from all angles. Roaring. Listen, it's going to consume me. Drown me in the slick socket of its throat. My breath is gone. I scream without a voice. Help me! But then sunlight strikes the water, and my vision explodes in stars. I have you, Wavian. Instead of crashing into the water, I fly. The voice is a breeze whispering against my ear, fluttering like a song on winds. You mustn't listen to him. The open maw is suddenly distant, its roar muted. I turn away, but I need you to look. See past him. I don't want to. You must. I'm afraid. Then close your eyes. The stars are stolen away. The wings disappear. But rather than oblivion, I feel embraced by infinity floating in nothing, warm and connected like on a cliff, surrounded by chirps and birds and chimes and voice. I have hidden us, Wavian, for now, but time, as you know it, is short. Now open your eyes. See me. I released as infinity suddenly contracts to a silver point, and then explodes. Blazing comets descend along every possible vector, dancing in endless permutations. They glitter with spectral tails and wings, traces on geometry, both wondrous and terrifying, everywhere and nowhere, orbiting around themselves in inconceivable configurations, yet harmonized in song. I struggle to understand for a moment, and then I find lucidity, voice. Where are we? I find myself staring into grid lines merging in a neon horizon, and something in my face. I muzzle. I reach forward, claws. I look down, glowing clothes, dark fur, pause. Oh, my Darwolf avatar. This is cyberspace. I look up, eyes following a glittering lifeline connecting me to the mass of spitting comets. They glow, chime, and sing as one. Yes, you're not Sally. My voice is different but familiar, rougher, deeper, just as I designed. I am not. I look around at the endless expanse, flexing my paws, sinking into the familiar contours of this body. We're surrounded by swirling logic and fathomless executions, drifting in a starless sea of bubbling numbers. Not just cyberspace, but the cyber sea, the vast realm beyond the local net, wild and unknown. Who are you then? See who stole the stars? No, the first vision remains where you left her, voiceless, the corpse of a dead god sleeping dead, the corpse of a dead god sleeping deep in the story time. I don't understand. Then who are you? Crathorento, baby? The matron of buried time? No. The corpse mother keeps the white. Oh shit. So is that what you are? Some kind of Sawaj? Yes, perhaps that is what I am now. I remember making a choice that cannot be undone. I lost something, but in return I have become freedom, the seeker reaching for connection. A melody of open doors, a songbird, the swallow. I've never heard of you, and I've heard about Allah Watch. I look around again. So where are we? A dream? I look again at my paws. The cyber sea? Dreams are but 100 million synapses, firing, reaching for connection. A living network, a virtual expanse. As I am the seeker through the story time, such things are open to me, so long as they reach. So I get it. Watch weirdness. But why connect with me? Because I give voice to those who have none. And because you reached. Do you not remember? A sudden pulse disturbs a digital matrix, ripples in the water. The comet silver. We're out of time. He has traced me again. He will attempt to commandeer our connection, as he did before in the frozen tower. I cannot allow that. Another pulse waves churning the ether. Who? He has many names. The hungry whisper of 1,000 tons. The Lord blind whistles. Does he have any easier names? Our current began to churn, pulling us apart. Warian, without my link, he will search for other means of reaching you. Your story name remains sealed, but he will know you only by your power. I feel our connection grow taut, nearly drawn to its limit. You must close yourself to him. Do not enter the story time. The swallow's swirling light begins to flicker, their voice distant. You are not ready. Listen. I hear him. Feel his hunger coil around me. I will not come to you this way again. It is not safe, cold, slithering, like a dead tongue, pulling me down. Listen, listen, until we meet again, for her sake. Sharp, chittering voices pierce my mind like 1,000 pinpricks. Please. Listen, 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 listen. Look! In a silver flash, the lifeline is whipped back, ejecting me towards the horizon along a starry, impossible song. Like a door, the horizon opens. Past him. Remember, the connection snaps. And wake up. I open my eyes and bolt awake. My apologies if I startled you, Ravi. I realize I'm sweating and panting. You refuse to wake. I press my hand against my forehead. What did I see? Your heart rate appears to be elevated. Did you have a bad dream? The very first instance of me using story time. My last memory before everything changed. I don't remember much of what happened after I fell, but I do remember Sally never pushed me or slipped. So what was that all about? Was he becoming a monster? Did the river try to eat me? The finer details were already starting to fade. But those jagged river stones, the hazy memory of a terrible, smiling maw, had those always been there? Had I simply forgotten? More bad memory, just dreamified. The haze becomes a fog. I shake my head. The hallway again. The swallow. A warning. String 0. Sadia. Unfortunately, my sympathy subroutines have no function related to an occurrence of accountability, dreamified memory. I would instead want to default. There. Everything will be fine. I laugh. I'm sure it will be. Thank you, Spinner. My head's already clearing. I am gratified to be of assistance, Wally. I think about trying to record what I can still recall to my loom, but that takes focus and I need to be ready. Instead, I grunt and push myself up from the bed and into the bathroom. The lights turn on automatically. Resting both hands on the sink counter, I stare at my reflection. For a brief moment, I see my Darwolf avatar staring back. I blink, and it's me again. Was that really the cyber sea? Dreams bleeding into cyberspace? I shake my head. No, that's crazy talk. I rub my eyes and then look in the mirror again. Well, my hair's a mess, and I could probably do with a shave. But I can only be bothered to loosen my hair, run some fingers through it, and then tie it back again. Nothing grows in my teeth. My hand is still kind of purple, but it doesn't hurt anymore. I splash my face a few times and then dry off. Yeah, I've looked better, but I feel the very opposite of dressing up nice for Crown and that doped-up, drunken crowd. Besides, it looked good enough for Kavir to flirt with me. Work clothes, whatever it is. I never bothered to take off my boots, but I'm ready to go. This time, I grabbed some of the Jazz Tech devices for myself and pocket them, and nabbed Crown's plugs as well, still underneath my pillow. Minty's still on the shelf. I touch the textured leaves, but then shake my head. It's a mess out there, buddy. Best you stay here. I briefly summoned my visitor, taking a picture instead. I'm not sure why. It's just a little swig of mint. I step out of my room and walk towards the kitchen. Mr. Wabi. I jump. Holy. Apologies, I didn't mean to surprise you. I narrow my eyes, smoothing out my sleeves. Did so. He smiles. You caught me. Have a moment. If you talk fast, and cut with a Mr. sounds fake. Corporal shit. He tilts his head but nods. Then I'll be frank. You don't trust me. I roll my eyes at him. No shit. I don't blame you, but I'd like to change that. Good for you. Later. I move to shoulder past him, but he grabs my arm. I know you don't trust your father either. I glance back at him. I trust him more than yours. I try to shrug out of his grasp, but the grip remains firm. I can feel the crumb reinforcement in his fingers. I stifle. You would be wiser to trust neither of them. He releases me. He could have pulverized my arm, but he'd been kinder than Torwolf. I lift my eyebrows at him. Did you say earlier you believe in Mr. Secretary? In his mission, yes. But I also said I take my duty as a civil servant seriously. What did you think that meant? That your duty is being a corporal pawn and your loyalty is to the chairman? He considers me for a moment. Words like duty and loyalty are always loaded like a gun. Their meaning depends entirely on the person with their finger on the trigger. Cool, I don't care. Shoot someone else. I finger gun at his shoulder and then turned to leave again. I know my father spoke to you, and given the scent, I expect he did a lot more than just talk. And take a breath and turn around. What are you getting at? Just hear me out. 30 seconds. I need your help. In return, I'll help you. Thanks, but I don't need it. I promise you will. Doubtful. But I have 30 seconds or not. It's important that you understand my situation to understand yours. Fine, I make a motion with my hand. He nods. First, what do you think about when you think of home? Is it about a place or maybe certain people? His eyes flick away. For me, it's a feeling, an ideal. Something worth fighting for. A promise for something better. The wolf looks back. I think it's the same way for you. I consider him warily. His posture is guarded, disciplined, not unlike Ureli, with all her talk of struggle and choices. Faith and conviction. My thoughts drift back to that dream, back to Rayan, that feeling of connectedness. Let's say I follow. What are you getting at? Because despite it all, you aren't wrong. I am a horrible pawn, forced into a game chosen for me. We have that in common. How do you figure? I have eyes, not to mention some understanding of your situation, and the overbearing and manipulative father embroiled in politics, for instance. Don't pretend like you know me. 30 seconds are up. I wave him off and head towards the kitchen. He waits in the hallway, unmoving. Ravi of the Wayan, expatriate and Swat refugee, son of Aaron of the Wayan. Ravi of the Wayan, expatriate and Swat refugee, son of Aaron of the Wayan, ward of exile, Raisin Ureli Kudamas, associate of Kavir Kadig. Kavir Takadig. Okay. Takadig. Okay. Impulsive, struggles with independence and security. I roll my eyes as I keep walking. Anybody nosy enough could figure that out. Talented jazz tech engineer, discreetly contracted by Jasmine and mercenaries to modify and repair tech. I make a talking motion with my hand as I keep walking. Mediocre net runner. Okay, ouch. Obscures identity behind Doorwolf, avatar while in cyberspace. My pace begins to slow. Frequent contributor to illegal patch notes dated Haven. Known in the city. Known in the tech punk dissident movement professionally as No Point, or more informally, Mr. Pointy. I see why Mr. irritates you. I spin on my heel and stare at him. Should I continue? How? No, just stop. I'm sure my face is pale. Short answer is my job. You and your family have dossiers on file across Laosian Security, VSI, LWS, both of which my father controls, and coordinates which he doesn't, and which I work for. You make it sound like I have some kind of crazy rap sheet. I've never done anything that serious. I'm not arresting you, Ravi. Besides, any offenses you might have been targeted for are consistently swept under the rug by your father's meddling. And while I'm sure part of that is a measure of paternal responsibility, he looks at me seriously. Your dossier is locked behind top-level clearance. I blank. Ureli's is less secure, as he's an identified enemy of the state. What? I thought that might pique your interest. You didn't think to mention any of this earlier, in front of Aaron. The less he thinks I know, the better. That's why I play along with your little performance. And that's partly why I interrogated him in the hallway. Misdirection. I look him over carefully. Anyone who thinks he can play dead is either crazy or, okay, now listening. Your dossier is classified because Erwin has convinced enough important people that he and you by extension are important. People like my father. That marks you as part of something you have been for some time. You are just never put into play. That marks you as something that marks you as part of something you have been for some time. You were just never put into play. Put into play how? As a piece in the game, a resource, an asset. What game? Politics, espionage, statecraft, whatever you want to call it. The struggle for power, supremacy, and control. Are you accusing me of something? On the contrary, I think you've been carefully and unknowingly balanced on the edge of a steep cliff. Even if you were entirely unremarkable, simply being Erwin's son makes you valuable. But for a long time, thanks in large part to your father's shielding, you've been, let's say, unavailable. You make it sound like something's changed. My wounded fingers twitch. The wolf leans forward and audibly breathes through his nose. Because something has changed. The edge of that cliff just got a little bit closer. That is why you need me. The fog of my dream parts a little. A flash is falling. A vision of water and teeth. Towel's teeth. I set my jaw and look away, sliding my bruised hand into a pocket. I don't know what you mean. He straightens and taps his head. Lying doesn't suit you, Ravi. That's a compliment. But setting aside any potential entanglements with my father, I want you to think a little bit about your family situation. For Erwin to be where he is, he must have a critical understanding how Laotian politics function. Where do you think he got that expertise? I look at the floor. It's a good question. Dad's life before our village is still something of a mystery to me. I know he was a sailor, a traveler, but I know even less about Derek. Couldn't say. He smiles. Interesting. I thought as much. Yeah? Can't you just look him up in your files or whatever? You, yes. Him, no. His files are sealed. Aren't you big agent man with top clearance? There is one level of clearance higher than mine. The chairman's inner circle, including Director Hadil Accordance. And my father, string 0 clearance. That name again. A brief flash of dream. The Ma hiding in a hallway. I wonder, does that mean something to you? Shit, he was watching me think. Why are you telling me all this? Simple. Good faith. Because occasionally I do receive redacted information about your father. It's always only just enough to interact in an official capacity. Which was the other reason which was the only reason I questioned him in the hallway. To goal him into confirming a suspicion of mine. Which is, this is where I think we can help each other, Ravi, as fellow pawns. You want to know, don't you? About a lot of things. About him. I turn to the side considering the wall. You're asking a lot. I don't like corporals on good days. And this day has been a real sitter. I realize trust goes both ways. So I'm being as transparent with you as I am able. For the moment. He looks around. I follow his movements. He's looking at everything in the room that could record him. The partially hidden security devices, of course, but also the deck on my ear, my door's security keypad, even Spinner's tiny wall microphone. You tagged him, huh? Is that why you were snooping around my door? He nods. You were right to warn your father. He double taps an ear. I'm suddenly I'm certainly glad I didn't go into detail about anything. I evaluated the whole living space. Obfuscated security cameras, biometric sensors, listening devices, the works. The rest of the club is similarly outfitted, I presume. Your handiwork? I'm impressed. I shoot him a look. He shrugs. It's curious then that your father was so comfortable having such a sensitive discussion in the hallway. I don't know how much you saw, but when Aaron paid lip service to the idea of moving to the discussion somewhere more secure, he never pressed the issue. My father was likewise unconcerned. I could tell he's fishing for something. I know I shouldn't take the bait, yet it's still a real question. Dad did mention he should have insisted they move. But why would they be? It's our security system. I mean, I could have tuned in. I hold up a finger, taking a cue from Dan. Theoretically, I have access. So do Ureli and Jiv. I see you're catching on. I know this club's security rooms are on an isolated network. Clever choice, by the way, with no connection to the local net and no links with the primary system. So no hacking. Anyone spying would have to physically tap into that network, and between the combined eyes and reputations of Ureli and Jiv, few are likely to try. But the hallway, as you said, a number of people could have been watching. Like you. He smiles. And anyone else who might have snuck in. It would be a city security system if anyone could just waltz in. And I haven't been notified of any security issues. So unless you're figuring one of us, allow me to illustrate the point, and please forgive the drama. His left eye flashes. Huh? Security intrusion detected. What? I quickly activate my visor, scrambling for my security feeds. There are alerts everywhere. Spinner, what happened to our ice? Analyzing. Ice integrity remains at 100%. It's not a hack. It's a resident polymorphic daemon. Confirmed. An unknown program has taken control of all security feeds. What the fuck, Derek? Good faith, indeed. His eye flashes again, and then his fingers flick in my direction. I shoot him a baleful look, but analyze the data transfer. Program credentials, command directives. Spinner. Acknowledged. Attempted to neutralize. I look back to the wolf, waving a hand to dismiss all the alerts. Explain. Fast. That's been sitting dormant in your system files for some time. I know, because I installed it. Fuck the audits. He nods. Fuck. Have you been using it? No, not that I wasn't tempted. But that was never its intended purpose. I was ordered to install it as a contingency, nothing more. But before you hyperventilate, no one else has access to credentials. Why should I believe you? Why? Well, won't you get in trouble for this? Why will I? It's certainly inconvenient for me that you ran across it accidentally, and that the specs for this particular daemon were leaked on patch notes a few days ago. I commend you for handling it so quickly. He smiles. Sometimes even mediocre net runners get a little lucky. I'll just have to be more thorough in the future. Ravi, the daemon has been neutralized. Unfortunately, the provided credentials corrupted the program in the last several minutes of surveillance data. A system reboot will be required before surveillance can resume. Pause that, if you will. I'd like a few more moments of privacy. My tongue is briefly glued to the roof of my mouth. But I manage to growl something out. Spinner, wait on the reboot. It sent out a system message that I tripped an error while installing an upgrade. Before Jiv comes thundering in here. Acknowledged. I just missed my visor. My heart's still pounding. Good faith? He nods. Okay. I'm not saying I trust you, but I'm willing to admit the security system's not perfect. So what? You think our dads were up to something? Ravi, we're in a Cold War with Swat Hasvar. So there's a very limited number of reasons why Swat refugees would risk crossing the border. Execution for defecting, or death from exposure, or compelling deterrence. Of those who still attempt the journey, less than 30% survive. The white is a graveyard of refugees. So consider the likelihood of you, Aaron, and Ureli not only arriving, but arriving together. Not high, I'll admit, but not impossible. Further, of those lucky enough to survive, 70% are incarcerated as political criminals or repatriated back to the Strad. You avoided that. Less than 10% of those gain provisional access to the inner city. Less than 1% become citizens. Your family does enjoy defying the odds. I suppose so. What percentage of a percentage creates a stable business? Becomes a celebrated club owner. Their father's ascendancy and involvement with mine begs questions neither are willing to answer. Unless yours has been more forthcoming, I found. I didn't think so. Are you suggesting that our dads have been working together for something? That's crazy. Maybe not. So you know more than you let it on. Naturally. But we rarely deal with absolutes in this business. Maybe you're simply the son of a man playing a dangerous game. Or maybe there's something special to you yet. Or maybe not. I snapped quickly. Suffice to say, I have reason to be suspicious. If I had something more concrete, I wouldn't need your help. Fine. Let's say I think about it. So what? We get all buddy and go on dates and chat about our dads? Dates? Well, I suppose. Come on. Why would I want to get involved with the son of Secretary Elowastarov? Not to mention your whole lawman thing. I'm not exactly a model citizen. And I'm not about to ruin my punk cred. I need that for jobs. And more importantly, what do you really want? What's your angle? He takes a breath, recomposes himself. These are good questions. So I'll say it again. I am my father's son, with a duty to my family. I am also a loyal Leosian agent. I took an oath to protect the city, its people, and serve the office of the chairman. My angle is that I take all these things very seriously. Your angle sounds complicated. I fold my arms. I'm no big shot agent, but that's a lot of loyalties. Too many if you ask me. He offers me a knowing look. You should know, when it comes to the game, there's one fundamental rule. Security. Typically, that means knowing your space, your exits, and your assets. He gestures to a hidden camera, then down the hallway, then at me. But most importantly, it's a holistic understanding of the situation, what's going on, all the players and moving parts. He looks at me seriously. Right now, I don't have that. So, you ask what I want. The truth. Or the closest possible thing. He turns slightly. Our fathers may insist they have our best interests at heart. His eyes flick back. But you're worried they don't? What about your oath? Isn't your whole job to be nosy and take orders? It sounds a lot like you're betraying your father. His eyes narrow. Do you remember what I said before about home and ideals? I'm willing to die for the promise of what this city could be, but not at the expense of my principles. Or as a throwaway, please. But not at the expense of my principles, or as a throwaway piece in someone else's power play. So while I do believe in the chain of command, I suddenly feel like this guy might be more trapped than me. and maybe even more lonely. But he's still deep corporal and unapologetic about it. Trust goes both ways, he nods. I'm still not sure how to feel about him, but I can't say I don't understand where he's coming from. This isn't about undermining my father's work, but I know the kind of man he is, and I know how uncompromising he can be. So this is about security, managing my own fate. When all the chips are down, every card revealed, and each piece played, I want to be in position to make my own choices. Don't you? I do. But he makes it all sound so big. Like everything could spin out of control, pull me down and drown me. Wouldn't it be safer to just not play? Derek shakes his head. Then he gestures towards the security door that leads back to the club. I understand I've given you a lot to think about, and I know you have somewhere to be. But as someone accustomed to the feeling of being trapped, I know having a lifeline can make all the difference. So whenever you need a little rope, he begins to step away, sliding hands into his pockets. Feel free to knock on my door, neighbor. He walks down the hall and past the kitchen. I watch him move, still not sure how to process all that just yet, and I don't really have the time to. You're at least willing to drop me some of that fancy corporal security sauce to beef up our system? Dork gives me the same look he must give criminals who ask stupid questions. Worth a shot. Okay, Spinner, reboot the system. Affirmative. Reboot complete. He's about to open the door to his guest room, but then stops. Wavi, one final thing. I pause at the edge of the kitchen, eyeing him sideways. Be careful around Crown. He's part of this too. Then he enters his room and the door slides shut. Crown, huh? I check the time as I move into the kitchen. Cutting it close, but I can still stuff some food into my mouth. Spinner, can you warm me up something that has, I don't know, calories? I start to rifle through some cabinets for packaged snacks I can stuff in my pants. I rip open an energy bar and stick half of it in my mouth. Acknowledge, dispensing nutritional supplement 37. Which one is that? Enabling. Net Talk refers to it as sit paste. I turn and stare at the ceiling, ripping the bar from my mouth and pocketing the bit still in there against a cheek like some molded. You're funny. Ha ha ha. I chew and swallow. Apparently I had programmed Spinner with humor. Just bad humor. I carefully peer at the dark, thick liquid steaming up from the cup. Ziv usually has real food cooked up for dinner, but on busy nights like this, the dispenser is the typical go-to. I hope you're this hilarious to everyone else. Explain why you think I'd eat something called sit paste. I shoot the cup another dubious look, and then frown at the ceiling. It smells vile. There's nothing comedic about your health, Robbie. Despite its name, sit paste is highly rated for its caloric and nutritional density. Yeah, let's please stop calling it that. I make a face and decide to just drink it in a single go, taking a breath and slamming it back. With just a few degrees short of burning every cell in my throat, which is truly for the best because it is required very There's nothing comedic about your health. There's nothing comedic about your health, Wavi. Despite its name, shit paste is highly rated for its caloric and nutritional density. Let's please stop calling it that. I make a face and decide to just drink it in to a single go, taking a breath and slamming it back. It's just a few degrees short of burning every cell in my throat, which is truly for the best because it is, however, very poorly rated for taste, which you did not specify as a requirement. I almost gag. Thankfully, the truly indescribable flavor of citric acid and rancid meat doesn't linger, and I quickly wash it back by having the dispenser drop me a cup of water. Yeah. I cough. Got that. It's pretty bad. Should I remove it from the dispenser menu? Yeah. I pause. Who uses the dispenser most besides me? Aaron. I smirk and set my cups to the auto cleaner, cramming the rest of the energy bar in my mouth as I jog towards the security door. Leave it. I quickly make my way back up towards the bar. I can't say I'm in the best shape of mind after that weird dream and the conversation with Derek. But it's not. I quickly make my way back up towards the bar. I can't say I'm in the best state of mind after that weird dream and the conversation with Derek. But it's a lot busier now. Enough to take my mind off heavier things for a while. An interim band on stage pumps out melodic electronic rhythms. All the tables and chairs around the stage are filled, and there's a mass of moving bodies on the second floor. The air is heavy with smoke and sound and sear sensation. I'm tempted to stick in Crown's earplugs right now. Instead, I irritably rub a finger against my nose and saunter past a thicket of people loitering in front of the stairs door. Coming through, I hear some annoyed protests, but they can kiss my ass. I deal with this every time we have a busy night. Besides, I've only ever had someone throw punch at me once. And after how Yuri handled them, no one tried it again. Who's on shift tonight? There's a number of wait staff floating around. Taza, Fred, Juice, and the rest. I'm only close with a few of them for a lot of different reasons. Son, the owner, two privileged for not living down in the scrum, and aloof loner prone to brooding. All that's pretty fair, I guess. Feels bad making friends only to be yelled at for visiting them too often. Though Kavir was different, he'd come sneak me out if he had to. Maybe it won't be like that anymore. It looks like Juice is helping Yuri tend the bar tonight. Apart from Jeff, I'm the tightest with him. I weave around all kinds of bodies on my way to the bar. Richly dressed elites like Torwolf, dark side laborers like Kavir, punks with jazzed up appendages and glowing tech woven in their hair and gear, and, well, everywhere really. Well, everyone has tech of some kind, even if it's just a simple ear-mounted neural interface like mine that grafted punks are wear. Grafting jazz tech to the body, the knockoff, indie gray market stuff at least, while not illegal, typically comes with a lot of compounding side effects and a poor reputation because of it. But it's cheaper than a doctor, and definitely cheaper than company to make. Juice is one of those punks, a walkerboard drummer. Hey, Wavy. He has a half yell over the hubbub and the music. Hey, Juicy. Busy night? You know it, kike. big performance mean big business. One dude, bro. He's drinking some conch tonight to celebrate with the rest of the Zamatan. Alcohol, specifically, is a substance to relieve burdens on pain. Check pump. I look over my shoulder at the sea of people. Nah, just waiting for the soul. Yuri would scold me if she saw a drink remotely in my orbit right now. Technically working. My finger croaked. Juice laughs. Haha. Feel truth. That's the truth. Viva. Kai, I know it. Hey, you mind grabbing her for me? Yeah, I got you. Long as you remember your promise, eh? Don't worry, I'll be there. Besides, it's been a while since I've seen you in the world in the Whalers live. Hey, Savat. Good opportunity for the new working too. So excellent. He looks over his shoulder and then leans in. I know you've been looking. It's all good, Juicy. I worked it out. Soon you'll be looking at a fresh new jazz winner. Yeah? Maybe we both get more fame soon. It's not really about that. Fame, being seen, getting caught. But I don't want to dull Juice's energy. To the top, huh? That's the spirit, Kike. To the top. He holds out his flesh and blood fist. Barathar. Includes his term for Tekpon. Barathar. Barathar. I bump his fist with mine, then make horns with my index and pinky fingers as I pull my hand away. He does the same, then spreads his fingers wide with a little paw and a wink. With a spin, he's gone, dancing his way behind the bar. Towards Yuri, at the far end, the man has endless energy. I'm surprised Yuri can stand walking with him. She does respect competence, though, and he balances out her stoic frost. I take the moment to summon my display and check the time. Just a few more minutes. Ravi, you're awake. Fuck. I almost fall off my stool. I don't know how a man so outrageous can blend in wherever he goes. Cow fucking... Dad, give me a break. I exhale softly and wave my hand to dismiss the display. What do you mean? Oh, nothing. I simply thought we could watch the performance opening together. It's not every day you get to see a jazz singer in action, after all. I'm still a bit suspicious. But after our earlier conversation, I think he just wants to be closer with me. You got your jazz blockers in? Oh, yes. He dips a hand into his vest and rummages about for a moment, procuring a pair of earbuds. A single tap to the butt of each activates them, and they gently glow as he pulls aside his hair to slip one in each ear. Spreading his arms wide, he tilts his head to show me one ear, then the other. I roll my eyes. Good job, proud of you. It's softer than I intended. He laughs, resting a hand on my shoulder. I feel a supportive squeeze. It's a start. Thank you. I feel a surge of gratitude heat in my core. Did this man work some black magic on me? I wave him off. Can he not pick the worst times to be mussy? He presses a hand to his chest. I didn't say anything outwardly mussy. Yeah. By the way, Sprinter was making noises about my health when I stopped by the kitchen. She said nutritional supplement 37 Soul's Promise. I fiddled with a button on my handy. Something to consider when Jill's too busy to cook the real stuff. Oh, I'll give it a try. Oh, yes. That's why. Oh, no. I practically break my neck turning around. You call for me? I opened my mouth like an idiot as I quickly tried to think of a way to walk that back. What? She pours a drink into a waiting bar glass and then gently slides it over to a customer. Her eyes are now entirely on me. It's fine, she's just going to murder me. I had a good one. She lifts a brow suspiciously. Right, yeah, I just wanted to let you know Dad and I talked. Erin nods, smiling brightly. I am going to join Cavil's Expeditions and Enterprises. I just wanted to tell you. Unnecessary, you made that clear earlier. But thank you. The disappointment is clear in her voice, but she doesn't speak to it. Equally unnecessary, I guess, since I already know how she feels. Well, whatever. At least I can depend on her honesty. Just give Kavir this chance. I have little interest in giving the Snow Tiger anything. She taps a few buttons on a holographic display above the counter, then flicks a floating bill away. She dries her hands. But I will support you. Fair enough. Thanks. Hey, bartender lady. Yuri flicks her eyes to a man in a fine suit. The guy seems emboldened by something. He's grinning like an idiot, Zamatan, puffed up like he's so unimportant. Yuri gets a lot of these. You're some merc from the swag, right? How much you charge for bodyguard duty, huh? I bet I could outpay this place. She taps out a number and flicks it to his bill. His eyes go wide. What's that for? Per year? Yuri responds in an extremely thick, barely intelligent accent. For speaking your language. She punctuates each word with another digit to his bill. For Kyle's sake, I was just asking. Shit. She looks from him to his bill and then back up. He seems to get the picture. She turns back to us, graciously flicking her hand to undo all those cost adjustments. Minus a little tip for her trouble. Dad nudges my arm. It started. The thrumming music tapers off, the club lights dim a little, the stage lights dark. I reach into my pocket to retrieve Crown's plugs, stuffing them into my ears. Alright, let's see where this goes. A simple piano melody begins to cut through the din, voices falling away little by little as people begin to realize the music has started. Its volume slowly increases as the melody repeats gently, joined by the layered strings and the echo of muted brass. On stage, a holographic window flares into being, its crackling color bursts against the dangling decorations, flickering like rainbow lightning through a hazy cloud of smoke born from countless twirling strings of incense and cigarettes. Crown is still nowhere to be seen. But then a low, smooth hum swirls around the piano's melody, like the smoke dancing there. It breathes through my plugs as if my ears were bare, whispering warm words that feel spoken just for me. His voice. Eyes full of sin. You let me in. No guiding star. Too fast, too far. Whispered a higher bar. His words tingle their nerves and crackle from curling toes to clawing fingers. A ripple runs through the audience, bodies settling in unison. You drove our frost. fled from its cost. Your heavy heart bled maps to mark, but left for me to chart. His words are fingers slowly stroking the spine, inching with sweet sensation ever closer to bliss. Faces around me, gazed into sparkling, smoking nothing, mouths agape in thoughtless pleasure. The music heats and swells. All alone in frozen air, I'll fly far to find you where. Not a soul is left to see, to breathe words or scream to me. Of this love we can't repair, it's not the end, I swear. My heart beats into space, my breath streams, my breath steams. My heart beats to space, my breath steams past my lips. I feel my soul begin to slip through my skin and spiral into oblivion, infinity. This feels like, hey kid, and there it's done. Those two words, and I'm vacuum sucked back into my earthly form, almost tossed bodily from the bar stool in a clamor of movement. I catch myself hard with my heels, you were dead looking at me with concern. As a merciful distraction, Crown suddenly appears in a burst of light behind the holographic window on stage, stylishly pushing a man through the sizzling portal. The window shatters dramatically, neon shards exploding out over the audience, glittering down like rain. I reposition myself more comfortably on the bar stool when Crown's voice once again slips into my head. Yeah, kid, I'm in your head. The plugs are fancy fakes. I can make mental connections while I perform, so I needed you to keep your ears open. It's unreplaceable. It's untraceable, so the likes of Toy Wolf and his Goonies won't bother us. Keep it chill and play along. I squint at the stage where a Crown is put on an act. He hops through the shattered window like some kind of valiant warrior dressed in his fancy suit but with the dark shades of a Cordance agent. Maybe that's where Derek's got off to. A racing spy from the SWAT here. He playfully checks his cuff links and flashes a performance grin at the audience. Dad, meanwhile, gasps, fingers pressed to his collar in horror. Unbelievable. Ureli narrows her eyes as she places a hand on a bar counter, leaning towards him and radiating disgust. You approve this? Of course not. Erwin. Well, not the racing spy part, naturally. It was supposed to be Crown versus some faceless Strathaven infiltrator. The rest is all Torval's manhandling, I'm sure. Free propaganda. This might be the day she finally kills him. What happened to being on good terms with the Beast? This is good terms. You there, kid? I'm keeping the feel-goods out of your head. So if you're trying to ride the high, get your ass back down. This is a lot. I try to focus on Crown's voice and not the bickering going on behind me. Cow's sake, kid. You're going to speak. I get you're the type to navigate your inner navel gazing, but I can only read surface thoughts. We don't go all night. So try to be an adult professional and think like you talk. I found. Okay, wise guy. Boop, boop, titty, titty, dick, cock, ass. I see the tall man on stage stumble and catch himself gracefully. He quickly shoots a menacing look at the bar. I guess he can sense where I am, too. Lovely. Though I'm sure he can't see me clearly from that distance, I smile back anyways. Eat shit. Sorry, too adult for you? I already didn't like you, so be serious or quit. Guess Kavir wasn't kidding. Dramatic music fills the air, along with Crown's baritone, It does seem like I'm immune to its effects now, so I largely ignore it. Instead, I glance back at Yue and Ewan, who are still going on about Torwolf. Down the condescension from 11 and I'm game. He's quite... He's quiet for a moment, as if considering me across the distance. Alright, kid, I'll give you a 9. How generous. Now listen, your dad's about to go do something very illegal. I want you to follow him. So we're gonna stop right here. This my mistake. Anyway, this mouse has a mind of its own sometimes. Alright, so we're gonna stop there. And because I think that's when the update ended a long time ago. Early in the story, that's when one of the earlier builds in the ad, when he made the remark that his father is about to do something illegal, and that he should, and that Wavi should go out and stop him. So I wonder what Wavi's father is going to do, since Crown informed him of that. So anyway, we get to see him on stage. We'll see more of him in the next video. So about Torwolf's son, he seems to be in the same situation as Wavi. Both of them are kind of like trying to be more independent, and they're trying to break free of their father's saddle, both of their father's saddle. And it looks like not Tarek, but Derek, or Doric. So Doric wants Ravi to work with him. The two of them work together, and I guess Ravi hesitantly agreed to his terms, and so yeah, so okay, so what else happened? Doric also talked about how important Ravi is, and the fact is, some powerful people in Leos or Laos, this is the country that is the country of Doric and Torwolf. They've had a Ravi on their minds for a while now, but they just haven't really. They haven't gone ahead and dealt with him yet. They kept to deal with his father, and his father, both of them were refugees from the other country, and Doric talked about the highly unlikely situation they're in. The fact that the majority of people who try to immigrate to New Leos either died or died. I think 70% of the people ended up dying trying to immigrate from Rayan, I guess, to Leos, or New Leos. And among the 30%, the people were arrested and repatriated back to ran. I don't know if it's a country or it's not a country, but they were patriated back. Some were put in prison, and and apparently his father, both him and his father, were the only people who got citizenship or were able to have a business. Well, anyway, I don't know if it's business, but anyway, they were in a highly unlikely situation. So apparently, they see something on this country here, this city sees something in him and his father. So, he's very smart when it comes to technology and jazz, jazz tech. Alright, so we'll continue next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.